Hello, welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the Recovery Plug. Well, I like to get my video started always with a moment of silence followed by the serenity prayer for the addict who still suffers. So if you would, a moment of silence. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Alrighty, well, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining me in my podcast video today. I just, I guess, want to talk a little bit about, you know, how some days can just drag, how they can feel like, you know, like recovery is not the best thing. Uh, you know, when you're a person that has a neurological brain disease in the form of PTSDs, childhood traumatic experiences, and drug addiction, it sometimes sometimes it's tough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not all good. Sometimes you feel like you're in this dark hole, and you know, I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was, but that was kind of weird. I'm in my dorm room at the facility where I stay. It's a transitional housing facility for people who, well, the other floors are for folks who are coming out of federal prison, and the floor that I'm on is for people that who are veterans and who are facing a dilemma like addiction and homelessness and that sort of thing. So it's a transitional facility for veterans on the third floor, and you know, they say this building's a little haunted or something. Something just fell over there. That's why I was like, what the heck is that? But you know, nonetheless, you know, I didn't really have a topic to talk about today, but you know, one of the things that I don't know, I just been feeling kind of weird all week. You know what I mean? Kind of, oh man, I don't know, just depressed and sad a little bit, I guess. I don't, and honestly, I don't even know why. I mean, maybe it's for some of the news that I got earlier this week. Maybe it's just, you know, I know that I'm in a better place right now, you know, than I was 6 months ago, and but there's some days that are just hard, you know. I don't know how to explain those days, but when I have days like that, I tend to isolate myself. You know what I mean? And I know that isolation in it isn't a good thing to do when you're an addict, and you know. So when I get isolated like that, you know, I'll try and do a video, or I'll try and read some of the AA or NA books. I'll you know, watch movies here in the TV room when I can, and you know, the fellas were watching Monday Night Football, so I was watching that, and but I don't know, man. I have been feeling really out of it this past week, and I mean, I don't know if any of you guys ever felt like that, like when, you know, and it's supposed to be a positive thing that you're doing when you stop the addiction, but sometimes it just feels like you're getting nowhere. You know what I mean? And on those days, you know, I got to remind myself that, man, you are somewhere. You're in a much better place than you were, you know, 7-8 months ago, and you know, I just got. I mean, I'm grateful. You know, I really am. I just, sometimes I don't know how to deal with that feeling. And sometimes I take medications for the PTSDs. I take medication for my dreaming, and for the fact that I can't fall asleep. And then I get this I got this ringing in my ear that never stops. I mean, the tinnitus in my ear is just terrible. So it's like, I don't know if anybody has tinnitus, but tinnitus is like having a locust in your ear, in both ears, all day long, and it doesn't stop. And it gets kind of overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes you can't hear what people are saying, and sometimes you can't hear the TV, or if there's a fan going, or this other noise in the room or whatever, then it's your sound and your hearing gets distorted. But it gets frustrating, sometimes. But so I'll stay in my room, and I'll start exercising, or it just I don't know what to think of that sometimes, because normally when I would feel those types of feelings, my first thing was to go to my go-to, and that would be to if I didn't want to feel whatever the hell I'm going through on the day, well, then all I have to do is get high, and it takes it away, you know what I mean? But I know that if I do that, then I'm back to square one, and I can't go backwards in my life at this point. I've made promises, and I tend to keep, and I not only promise myself, but I got family who are depending on me, and I can't. There's no way I can let my daughter down. That's for sure. And so that's one of the things that well, she's really the thing that keeps me moving forward. God, forbid. If it wasn't for her, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm glad that I'm not in the addictive world right now. But I hate that sometimes I have this feeling that it's I don't know how to even explain that feeling. It's just like if you're living your life, and you know that you're doing stuff, but you're just doing it out of just like this automatic emotions that your body's making you do, in a sense. And I don't really know. I don't know what to think of that. You know what I mean? I really don't. I sometimes I feel anxious. I feel nervous. I feel sad. I feel depressed. I feel mad, all at the same time. I don't know if you could understand what I'm talking about. If anybody has a feeling like that, you ever feel that? Where it's almost like your body's being pulled in 10 different directions, and it makes you feel like vertigo, in a sense. And nothing that you do is comfortable. You know what I mean? You getting up and walking around, or sitting down in a comfortable chair, or going outside, or sitting down to watch a TV show or a game, or going through your phone, or just whatever it is. Nothing is comfortable. Everything feels discomfort. Everything feels like it's not in its place. It's like I'm a couple of steps off. You know what I mean? Does anybody ever feel like that? I don't know if it's the medication I'm taking. I don't know if it's just that maybe I'm thinking about things too much. I have no idea. I don't feel like I'm grounded to the earth. I don't feel like my magnetic freaking waves of my body or in sync with the earth. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody gets that, or if you understand what I'm talking about, but I try to meditate. I try to pray. I try to be peace and be with myself. And getting my thoughts and my feelings is connected to the same wavelength in a sense. But some days are just like that. I hate those days, and I just don't know how to deal with those days. I don't really know how to deal with them now that I'm not in my addictive state. I'm sober, I'm clean, and that's a new territory for me. And they say that if you keep doing the things on a daily basis and positive and doing the repetitious things, and I understand it, I really do, and I'm doing it, but sometimes I feel like, okay, I've done so many positive things already. I feel like there's supposed to be a negative in there to kind of align me, if you will. Because I feel like I'm doing positive, and I'm doing all these positive things, but like my body can't catch up to my mind in a sense. You know what I mean? And part of my feelings are disconnected right there, and it's a horrible feeling. I hate that feeling. But when I know I pray about it, and I talk to my God about it. I read the Bible a little bit, and then I'll go to sleep, or I'll listen to some solfeggio tones in meditation, and some fork meditation hertz signals as far as the solfeggio frequencies go, and that helps. It really does. I feel like it brings me back, but it's got to be, for me anyway, it has to be pitch dark, or I have to just literally like have no interruptions. Like I can't hear, if I'm listening to that and doing my meditation, I can't have something that I hear in the distance, like maybe somebody walking in front of my door, or the light that's shining by the door, or somebody's knocking in the guy next door's room, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or I'll hear some guys walking down the hall or something. And that always disrupts my meditation, and it's hard to do that here, but I try it nonetheless. And for me, it's like I'll start really getting deep into it once it's like really, really late, and I have a hard time going to sleep. So I find myself doing that late, and 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and finally I'm able to relax, and my day doesn't feel like all that anxious and nervousness and anger and depression and loneliness, and I don't feel none of that. I feel at peace in a sense, and I could feel my body at peace, and then I could feel myself just falling in a deep sleep, and I love that feeling that there's no worries for me at that right there at that particular moment in time. And then when I wake up, it starts all over again. But I'll do something on the positive, and I'll keep myself positive, and I'm able to go through the day with those types of things in spurts. Because it's not all happy-go-lucky the whole day. That's by any means, it's not like that. I wish it was, and recovery's not that easy. You know what I mean? It's not. And you have these people. Like I went to this AA meeting yesterday, and the guy up there talking, and he's just doing their things, and I mean, bless their hearts at the meetings, because I like going because I like hearing people's stories, and I like sharing when I have to. But what I don't like is the fact that it seems fake sometimes. you know, they're giving this, and they're going through this whole big book thing, and you know, going through it and by sentence, and everybody's giving their feedback and stuff like that. But when things are not real in a sense to me, like, let me give you an example. They're talking about this part of the big book, and it's talking about how this wife is trying to deal with this husband and his drinking and that sort of thing, and how she will. It's telling them, kind of giving you instructions on how to deal with the person, and it's telling her to, you know, maybe talk to him about his problem, maybe, you know, encourage him to go to a meeting, tell him if, you know, that there's some friends that also drink and have this problem, and maybe they can talk to each other, and that sort of thing. And I'm thinking, like, dude, that's not gonna happen. In my world, if when I was growing up, if my mom told my dad that maybe you could talk to my friend's husband because he drinks and he's got, you know, whatever issues with alcohol, maybe y'all can, and he stopped, maybe you can do what they did, or that sort of thing. You know, first of all, my dad would be pissed. And why are you talking to your friends about me? What are you putting our laundry out there? That's not gonna happen. My dad would probably slap my mom, you know, because I grew up like that. My dad used to hit my mother, and so that, to me, those type of things, that this is not happening. And then I could have just put that whole scenario in my situation when I was married. I would have been pissed if my wife would tell me something like that. Like, really, you're talking to so and so about me and my drinking, and just throwing out our laundry like that? I would have been pissed. And what the hell are you doing talking to her husband or other guys about my drinking? I would have been mad. So those, you know, that's those kind of stories and things that I'm hearing in the meetings, and that don't fly with me. That to me is not reality, and that to me is not being real with the alcoholic or the drug addict. You know what I mean? I mean, when I give my story in any part of any of the part of my addiction, I give it to you raw, and I give it to you real. You know what I mean? I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't tell you that, yeah, I went and did this, I went to a meeting and I felt so good and this and that. No. I mean, I go to meetings sometimes, yes. Do I feel, you know, like I want to conquer the world sometimes? Yeah, maybe. But most of the time, it's just like I go and I'm thankful that I went. And when I'm done with the meeting, I usually go with somebody, or if I'm by myself, whatever, right? But it's like I'm thinking about the addiction because I'm in a place that talks about the addiction. So it's not something that I can just get away from. You know what I mean? And, you know, when they say do the 12 steps, you know, all of that stuff involves your addiction every single day. So by no means is it an easy thing to be recovered, you know, through the of an addiction. And you know, there's days that I have that are good, and I want to, you know, spread the message and stuff like that. But also, I think it's very important to also let the people know that, you know, I'm with you, brother. And sister, I understand that it's not easy. I understand that sometimes you're saying, like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what I'm going through. You know what I mean? Because I've been there, you know what I mean? And I've been in those types of situations, and how you feel like that sometimes, because there were times that I didn't give a F what anybody said. If I'm going to use, I'm going to use. I don't give a shit what you say. Was I happy when I did that? No, by no means. And that's the struggle. You know what I mean? That's the struggle to understand when that happens. How can you make that not happen? And I honestly do think that when you do things on a repetitive basis for the good, for the positive, then the probability of positive things staying in your life is pretty high. You know what I mean? And even when you have bad days, like me, you know what I mean? Today was one of those days. Today was one of those days that all day long I've been thinking about it. All day long, because I had a therapy session today, so it brought things out that I haven't thought about in a long time. And you know, my day was not a very exciting day. You know what I mean? I sort of had to suppress a lot of my feelings today, and I didn't like that. Because when I suppress, then I start feeling bad. Then I start feeling down. I start feeling sad. I start feeling mad. And all of that stuff into one. And I don't like that feeling. I hate that feeling. Because it's almost like a feeling that I had when I was in addiction, and I was hating my life, and I wanted to change, but I didn't know how to get out of that. And that's how it feels. Like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter where you go, what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're thinking, nothing seems to be working right for you. And it keeps you in that negative realm. And you know, by me doing these videos, I'm able to get it out of my feelings. I'm able to talk because I don't have anybody that I talk to, that I call to vent my feelings out to, or anything like that. And these videos that I do, it's where that happens. And for me, it's therapy. And you know, I am grateful that I'm able to do them, and I'm grateful that I'm able to do them sober. And it makes me feel like maybe my saying something will help somebody. And that's the weird part for me, is that when I start thinking like that, I think that somebody needed to hear something that I had to say, and it starts making me feel better in here. It makes my thoughts and my feelings of that ugliness start kind of I just kind of feel my muscles in my body just kind of relax, and like, man, finally, now I'm good today. Now the peace, the inner peace is coming, and now I feel like I'm gonna be able to go to sleep really good today. You know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but for me, it does. And I hope that somebody's listening to my video today, tonight, tomorrow, the next day. But I hope it helps. I really do, because know that you're not alone in those types of feelings and that kind of journey. Because people are going through this everywhere around the world, everywhere, in your city, in my city, in the city of, just every city, in every place, every rural area, country, city, whatever. There's people going through those types of feelings, and I like to let you guys know that you're not alone in feeling like that. Know that there is peace. that you're going to be able to feel if you just talk to your God, talk to your higher power, talk to your shaman, whatever spiritual being that you can relate to or that you do relate to, is probably the best thing you can do to start feeling a little bit better in your journey. And I know for me, it wasn't, listening to a song or talking to just a random person or reading a book or any of that stuff. When I get those feelings like I did today, the only thing that it is when I speak it out loud. And earlier, I prayed, and I feel like when I do the video, like I'm doing the same thing. I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to my higher power. That I feel that he's listening to what I'm saying, and it's helping me. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but that's how I deal with those types of days. And everybody's situation is different. For me, you know, going through the things that I have gone through since I was a kid up to an adult, and through the present things that I'm going through now, it's been a long road. It really has. And do I wish it was a little bit better than it is right now? Yeah, obviously, but I I believe there's a lesson in every part of uh, the journey that I'm going through. There's a lesson that I'm something positive has to come out of it. For me, for somebody else, I have no idea for who, but I do believe that when I speak and I share and I try to explain my feelings and what I'm going through, I honestly do think that somebody needs to hear it, and it's supposed to help somebody, including myself. So, yeah, so if you feel sad, depressed, angry, lonely, anxious, nervous, uncomfortable, like you don't belong, or like you don't know what your existence is, or you don't know why you're here, and where are you going if your direction is just not going the way you thought it was, and that sort of thing. All of those types of things, I've felt like that, and all of that stuff is how I felt today. And those for me are my worst days. But I'm grateful that I have a phone. I'm grateful that I have this camera. I'm grateful that I have this mic. I'm grateful that I have my speech, my brain, my body, and that I'm able to express through words and feelings into this, video that I do, so that I can get it off my chest, number one, and I don't have to carry that baggage with me, because I'm able to get it out. And perhaps maybe that baggage is somebody else's, treasure, in a sense, in their recovery. And I just want you guys to know that if you ever felt like I have felt today, you know that there is help. There is a way to go about it, and I pray that you find that way in my sharing my story with you, and just know that you're not alone, and I'm praying for you just like I pray for myself. And I hope that your journey turns out uh, well, and you are able to get into that world of positivity and recovery, because it's a beautiful place to be. It is. It really is. It's a beautiful place to be, and it's way better than being in the world of addiction. I can guarantee you that. So I really appreciate you guys listening to me vent out in a sense, and just thank you for listening, and thank you for staying this long on my video. And if you would please do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and share my channel, leave me a comment. Every little part of that helps me out, and spreading the message of to the addict who still suffers, and to the people who are homeless, and in the world of addiction, and in the world of recovery too, and just to bring awareness on drug addiction and homelessness. Period. That's what I do, and I would greatly appreciate the help. And if you subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, it really helps me out, and expand my audience, and and expands in spreading the message to a problem that we have in this country that we shouldn't be having, and that's homelessness and drug addiction. And it's a terrible epidemic, and it's only getting worse. And yeah, so if you please help out in any way possible, would be great. It doesn't cost you a thing. All you got to do is tap the button, and that's it. So I appreciate you guys watching me and doing my videos and hearing what I got to say, and hopefully I was able to encourage somebody, and get you on the right direction to the road of recovery and positivity. So I guess that's it for now. So until the next time, on When the Smoke Clears, I am the Recovery Plug.